In a world that often moves too fast and forgets what once made it feel like home, Erin Napier has quietly built a movement rooted in slowness, beauty, and belonging. Alongside her husband Ben, she's transformed not just old houses, but the way people think about small-town living. At the heart of it all is Laurel, Mississippi, a place that, under their care, has gone from fading to flourishing. Their show Hometown on HGTV isn't just about fresh paint and reclaimed wood. It's about stories, people, and honoring the soul of a place. Through each renovation, Erin and Ben prove that preserving the past can shape a brighter, more meaningful future. They don't just fix houses, they help restore identity. One front porch and hand-built cabinet at a time. Erin Napier, with her timeless design style and soulful presence, has become the face of a movement she never set out to lead. She's not chasing trends or camera time. She's chasing the feeling of home, and inviting others to rediscover it too. Whether she's restoring a century-old cottage or curating local goods in her storefront, her mission stays the same: to honor where we come from and build something better in its place. But Erin's journey didn't start with television. It began in childhood sketchbooks, college art classes, and one meaningful relationship that would change everything. Her story is one of quiet passion, deep roots, creative courage, and the kind of success that grows slowly, then all at once. This is the story of Erin Napier, designer, dreamer, community builder, a woman whose love for old houses is only matched by her love for the people inside them, and the town that raised her. Early life. Long before she was an HGTV star or a celebrated preservationist, Erin Napier was just a small-town girl with a pencil in her hand and big ideas in her head. Born on August 30th, 1985, in Laurel, Mississippi, Erin's roots run deep in the red clay and piney woods of the South. Her story doesn't begin with television lights or magazine covers. It begins with sidewalks shaded by oaks, quiet afternoons spent sketching, and the quiet charm of a town where everyone knew your name. Laurel wasn't just a hometown, it was a classroom. Its streets were lined with houses that whispered stories: old Queen Anne's with gingerbread trim, craftsman bungalows with exposed rafters, and sturdy colonials with peeling shutters. These weren't just buildings to Erin, they were time capsules, filled with the spirit of generations who had lived and loved within their walls. While other kids may have seen old, Erin saw potential. Though Erin has kept much of her family life private, it's believed that one of her parents may have had a background in architecture. An early, subtle influence that might explain her deep respect for form, detail, and craftsmanship. Regardless of where the inspiration came from, Erin grew up with an instinctive appreciation for things that were made to last. That early curiosity led her to Jones County Junior College, right there in her hometown, where she studied fine art. It was the first place where her creative instincts were given a language: shape, color theory, balance. She refined her skills, learning not just how to make things beautiful, but how to make them meaningful. After junior college, she transferred to the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss, where she earned her degree in graphic design. It was a practical move, a field where she could make a living doing what she loved. And it became the first step in her professional journey. She was drawn to clean lines, storytelling through visuals, and design that served a purpose. Whether she was designing logos or building brand identities, Erin's work always had a warmth and intentionality that made it feel personal. But as much as she enjoyed digital design, something was missing. Behind every layout and font choice, there was a longing for something more tactile, more rooted, something that connected her to her past. That yearning would soon find its outlet in home design, but at the time, she didn't yet know it. She was a graphic designer with a creative spirit, a small-town soul, and a growing sense that her story wasn't going to follow a traditional path. Even then, Erin was more than an artist. She was a storyteller. Whether through sketches or blog posts, she had a way of making people feel something. Her design work reflected her personality. Soft but deliberate, nostalgic yet fresh, deeply Southern but universally relatable. And all of it, her sensitivity to space, her reverence for history, her intuitive eye for harmony, was shaped by those early years in Laurel, a town that wasn't just where she lived, but where she learned how to see. Erin Napier didn't set out to become a household name. She set out to create beauty, to preserve what mattered, and to live a life full of meaning. And as it turns out, that was more than enough. Fate meets talent. Every creative needs a spark, someone or something that helps turn potential into purpose. For Erin Napier, that spark came in the form of a tall, bearded history student with a heart as big as his laugh. Ben Napier. It was 2004 at Jones County Junior College in Ellisville, Mississippi, when Erin first met Ben. At the time, she was immersed in her fine art studies, quiet and observant, a young woman who expressed herself more easily through sketching than small talk. Ben, by contrast, was outgoing and magnetic, a former football player who filled every room with warmth and energy. According to Ben, the moment he saw Erin, something clicked. He was immediately drawn to her, especially her short, pixie-style haircut, which would become something of a signature look. Erin, in turn, was intrigued by his kindness and old-soul demeanor. What began as mutual curiosity quickly grew into something more, something solid, grounded, and rare. They weren't just dating, they were growing together. Their conversations went beyond college assignments and weekend plans. They talked about life, faith, creativity, community, and the kind of home they each dreamed of one day building, not just physically, but emotionally. There was a natural harmony between them, like two puzzle pieces that had finally found their match. While Erin pursued design, Ben had planned to follow in his father's footsteps and become a minister. But as their relationship deepened, so did his curiosity about other paths, especially the one that let him work with his hands. He began dabbling in woodworking, building furniture, and restoring vintage pieces. Erin encouraged this creative exploration, and in doing so, helped him realize his passion for craftsmanship. Their love blossomed through shared values and a mutual respect for each other's talents. They weren't chasing fast success. They were crafting a slow, intentional life together. After transferring to the University of Mississippi, they remained inseparable, continuing to support one another's growth, even as their individual visions for the future started to align. In 2008, after 4 years of dating, Erin and Ben were married. The ceremony was small, heartfelt, and true to their roots, filled with personal touches that reflected their shared appreciation for vintage charm and Southern tradition. By then, they had already started imagining a life in Laurel, the town that raised Erin and would eventually become home for them both. That same year, they purchased their first house together, a 1925 craftsman cottage in serious need of work. It wasn't just a fixer-upper. It was the opportunity of a lifetime. Erin brought her design eye. Ben brought his hands and tools. Together, they rolled up their sleeves and got to work. Neither of them could have predicted it then, but that little house would change everything. It would set them on a path toward hometown, national recognition, and the chance to restore not just homes, but hope. First in Laurel, then beyond. What made their relationship special wasn't just their love story. It was their shared mission. They believed in honoring the past, in building with intention, and in using their talents not for fame, but for something that mattered. In many ways, Erin and Ben didn't just fall in love with each other. They fell in love with the idea of creating a life, not just living one. And that would make all the difference. A life-changing cottage. Sometimes the biggest journeys begin with a single house key. In 2008, newly married and ready to put down roots, Erin and Ben Napier purchased a modest 1925 craftsman-style cottage in the heart of Laurel, Mississippi. It was worn, weathered, and in desperate need of love. But to them, it was perfect. Where others might have seen peeling paint and outdated interiors, they saw possibility. A place not just to live, but to build something beautiful together. It wasn't meant to be a showpiece. This was just supposed to be home. But the process of transforming that old cottage lit a fire in both of them that neither expected. Erin, with her background in graphic design, brought a fresh perspective to home interiors. Her ability to blend color, texture, and layout into something emotionally resonant quickly made her stand out. She approached the home like a canvas, not just choosing furniture or finishes, but telling a story through space, layering past and present, memory and mood. Ben, whose interest in woodworking had grown steadily since college, dove into the hands-on labor. He taught himself how to rebuild, repurpose, and repair. He pulled up old floors, crafted new pieces from reclaimed wood, and approached every project with care, patience, and pride. He wasn't just fixing things, he was learning to preserve them. Together they made that house a home, filled not only with vintage charm, but with their personality, purpose, and newly discovered creative rhythm. Their teamwork was natural. Erin could see the vision. Ben could bring it to life. And when it came together, something magical happened. The home wasn't just beautiful, it felt right. Their cottage soon caught the attention of friends and neighbors, many of whom had their own aging houses and long-lost dreams of renovation. People started asking for help. Could Erin sketch out a design? Could Ben build a custom shelf or restore their fireplace mantel? Word spread fast, not because of flashy marketing, but because what Erin and Ben were doing felt authentic. It felt like Laurel coming back to life. At the same time, Erin began documenting their work on her blog and social media, sharing not just photos of before and after spaces, but her thoughts on design, love, home, and community. Her posts had a quiet strength, never showy, always heartfelt, and they resonated with readers far beyond Mississippi. Erin wasn't just showing off projects, she was opening a window into a way of life that felt lost in modern America. Little did they know, those blog posts and shared photos would become the breadcrumbs that led them to HGTV. A friend of a friend passed along their story to a network producer. Erin and Ben weren't pitching a show. They didn't even have one in mind. But when the producers saw their work, and more importantly, how they worked together, they saw something rare: authenticity, chemistry, and a story America didn't know it needed yet. That single home renovation, one old house lovingly restored by two newlyweds, became the spark that would ignite Hometown. But before it became a brand, a show, or a national movement, it was just Erin and Ben doing what they loved, with the person they loved, for the place they called home. And that cottage still stands, not just as their first house, but as the foundation of everything that followed. The Erin Napier design philosophy. Erin Napier isn't just a designer, she's a storyteller. And in every home she touches, she tells a story of what once was, what could be, and what deserves to last. Her design philosophy is grounded in one powerful idea: preserve what matters. In an era of fast makeovers and disposable trends, Erin's work is a gentle rebellion, a return to honoring craftsmanship, character, and the soul of a space. She doesn't believe in erasing history to create something shiny and new. She believes in celebrating it, while making room for the needs of modern life. For Erin, good design isn't about being flashy, It's about feeling lived in, personal, and authentic. She's known for blending historic charm with modern functionality, creating spaces that respect the past but are fully ready for the present. A 100-year-old door might be paired with sleek new lighting. A worn original fireplace might be surrounded by new built-ins crafted by Ben. It's not about contrast, it's about continuity. Much of Erin's design inspiration comes from her surroundings. Growing up in Laurel, Mississippi, she was immersed in a visual history book. Streets lined with Victorian homes, bungalows, and Greek revivals. The details of those buildings, the transom windows, intricate moldings, old pine floors, left a permanent mark on her creative mind. But inspiration doesn't stop at the architectural. Erin is influenced by nostalgia, storytelling, and family traditions. She often speaks about how design should reflect who a family is, not just what they like. To her, a home isn't complete without the personal, vintage family photos, heirloom textiles, worn books, handmade pieces from local artisans. These are the touches that make a house more than just a collection of rooms. She's also fiercely committed to supporting local creators. Through projects and her storefront, Laurel Mercantile, Erin incorporates handmade and locally sourced items whenever possible, keeping each design deeply rooted in its community. And perhaps most importantly, Erin's designs are functional. As a mother and business owner, she knows a beautiful space is useless if it doesn't work. That's why her homes are filled with smart storage, practical layouts, and durable materials, without sacrificing the warmth and charm that define her style. In Erin's world, a home should do more than impress. It should welcome. It should tell the story of a family's past, support their present, and inspire their future. What started as a personal renovation project quickly became a spark that would catch fire, not just in Laurel, Mississippi, but across the country. After Erin and Ben's work on their own 1925 craftsman home caught the attention of neighbors and friends, word began to spread. Locals started asking for help with their own renovations, drawn to the couple's mix of heart, skill, and authenticity. Erin's eye for design and Ben's hands-on carpentry were more than a good match. They were building something real in a town that needed it. But it wasn't just Laurel that noticed. Behind the scenes, a friend who admired their work passed their story along to a producer at HGTV. The network was looking for something different. Something grounded, honest, and warm. Erin and Ben didn't audition. They didn't even have a formal pitch. What they had was their story, and the raw footage they'd shared of home renovations, town pride, and daily life. HGTV was intrigued. There was something about Erin and Ben that felt genuine. They weren't trying to become TV personalities, they were just living with purpose. Their chemistry was effortless, their mission clear, and their hometown the perfect setting for something much bigger than a design show. In 2016, Erin and Ben officially launched Hometown on HGTV. The show followed them as they restored historic homes throughout Laurel, bringing life back not just to buildings, but to entire neighborhoods. Viewers were immediately drawn to the couple's warmth, their intentional approach to design, and the strong sense of community that wrapped around each episode. But the show wasn't about stardom. For Erin and Ben, it was still about Laurel, about showing that small towns weren't stuck in the past. They were worth investing in. And with each season, the platform grew. Suddenly, Erin's designs were reaching millions, but her mission hadn't changed. Whether seen by 10 people or 10 million, her goal remained the same: to tell a story through space, and to make every house feel like home. Family, faith, and private life. While their show has brought national attention and public admiration, Erin and Ben Napier have always been clear about one thing: fame will never come before family. At the heart of their success is a simple, deeply rooted value system, one grounded in faith, humility, and love for each other. From the beginning, Erin and Ben built their lives not just around renovation and design, but around the kind of intentional living that prioritizes what truly matters. Their journey into parenthood began in 2018 with the birth of their first daughter, Helen. In true Erin and Ben fashion, the pregnancy was kept almost entirely private. Viewers of Hometown had no idea Erin was expecting until she was nearly due. She kept working, filming, designing, all with the same high energy and grace, never once using her pregnancy as an excuse to slow down. Then, in 2021, the couple welcomed their second daughter, May. Once again, the news was shared on their terms, in their time. For Erin and Ben, keeping their children out of the spotlight isn't just about privacy. It's about protection. They've made a conscious decision not to post photos of their daughters' faces online, resisting the pressure of public exposure in an age of oversharing. "Fame is a job," Ben once said in an interview, "but our kids didn't sign up for it." Their faith plays a quiet but essential role in how they approach life, parenting, and work. They don't broadcast it loudly, but it guides their decisions, their discipline, and the humility they carry, even as their platform grows. In an industry where public life often overshadows the personal, Erin and Ben Napier stand as a rare example of balance, building a career they love without compromising the family they cherish. In front of the camera, they restore homes. Behind the scenes, they're focused on building something far more important: a life rooted in love, trust, and togetherness. For Erin and Ben Napier, revitalizing Laurel wasn't just about renovating homes, it was about reviving the local economy and empowering the people who lived there. That mission led to the birth of two deeply personal business ventures, Laurel Mercantile Co. and Scotsman Co. Founded in 2016 with a group of close friends, Laurel Mercantile Co. was created to support American manufacturing and local craftsmanship. Nestled in downtown Laurel, the shop offers home goods, furniture, decor, and heirloom-quality items, all curated with Erin's signature design sensibility. Every product tells a story, many of them made by Mississippi artisans whose work reflects the town's character and charm. But Laurel Mercantile is more than a storefront. It's a symbol of community pride. Visitors come from all over the country, not just to shop, but to feel connected to the spirit of hometown. Inside, Erin plays a key role in design and curation, ensuring every item aligns with the values she and Ben live by: authenticity, durability, and Southern soul. Then there's Scotsman Co., Ben's brainchild, a brand that honors the lost art of traditional woodworking. Named after Ben's Scottish heritage and his rugged craftsman style, Scotsman Co. produces handmade furniture, kitchenware, and apparel. Every piece reflects Ben's love for honest, hard-working design. Built to last, just like the homes they restore. Together, these businesses aren't just income streams, they're investments in Laurel's future. They create local jobs, attract tourism, and serve as anchors for a growing downtown revival. In blending commerce with community, Erin and Ben have found a way to extend their impact far beyond the walls of any home, proving once again that what they're building is meant to last. To viewers, Hometown often feels like a warm, seamless blend of creativity, craftsmanship, and charm. But behind the carefully edited episodes and beautiful reveals are the same challenges faced by anyone juggling work, family, and personal health. For Erin and Ben Napier, keeping everything afloat hasn't always been easy. Renovation is unpredictable. Projects run into delays, budgets stretch thin, and hidden issues behind old walls can throw weeks of planning off course. Add a national TV production schedule on top of that, and 2 young children. And the pressure multiplies. But somehow, they keep showing up with the same calm energy and steady teamwork that made them so beloved in the first place. Perhaps one of the most difficult periods came in 2020, when Ben faced a health scare that kept him from fully participating in the show's production for a time. Though the couple never publicly shared all the details, Ben later spoke about undergoing surgery and the frustration of not being able to contribute at his usual level. Erin, ever the anchor, continued leading with grace while supporting Ben through recovery, both emotionally and physically. And then, there's the ongoing balancing act of motherhood and media. Erin has spoken openly about how exhausting it can be to design homes, run businesses, film a show, and still be present for her daughters every day. Like many working mothers, she sometimes questions whether she's doing enough. But through it all, she stays grounded. What sets Erin and Ben apart isn't that they've avoided struggle. It's that they face it together, with transparency and grit. They don't claim to have it all figured out, but they keep showing up for each other, their family, and the town they love. Erin Napier's creativity isn't confined to homes. She's a storyteller at heart, and that instinct has taken form in writing, community work, and an ever-growing legacy that extends well beyond Laurel's city limits. In 2022, Erin released a charming children's book titled The Lantern House, inspired by her belief that a home has its own personality, one that waits patiently for the right family to bring it to life again. Told from the perspective of a house, the book is gentle, nostalgic, and filled with the same warmth that defines Erin's design aesthetic. It's more than a bedtime story. It's a reflection of how she sees the world. She followed it with Heirloom Rooms, soulful stories of home, a collection of personal essays and photographs that challenge the idea of perfection in home design. In it, Erin writes honestly about the messiness of real life. The stains on the carpet, the toys in the hallway, the clutter that tells a family's true story. It's a celebration of imperfection, authenticity, and what it really means to belong. But perhaps Erin and Ben's most enduring legacy isn't on paper or television. It's in their impact on community. From revitalizing downtown Laurel to creating opportunities for local artists and tradespeople, the Napiers have made giving back part of their mission. Through their work on Hometown Takeover, they've expanded that mission to other small towns across America, helping communities find pride in their history and hope in their future. In 2023, their alma mater, Jones County Junior College, announced a new facility named in their honor, the Erin and Ben Napier School of Design and Building Arts, a tribute not only to their success, but to the values they've embodied all along. Erin Napier's story is still being written. In every house she restores, every artisan she uplifts, every quiet moment she spends with her family. Her legacy isn't just beautiful spaces. It's a reminder that what we build and how we build it matters.